welcome back. All right, today I'm going to be duping my September polish pickup wish list. Now this month I had 8 polishes on my wish list. I will say that 4 of them are polishes that I really liked. I think they're pretty. However, I don't necessarily need them. If I could find somewhat of a close dupe, then I would be happy. And then 4 of them are hard favorites that I would consider must-haves, either that I would have to buy them or that I really need to find a really good dupe for them. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The first one is Artist Nails, and this one is called Pluckly. Now, when I look at this, it is a bright green jelly full of green, yellowy gold iridescent flakies. So this one is inspired by Pluckly, allegedly the most haunted village in Britain. Pluckly is a green jelly base with gold and green flakies, opaque in 2 to 3 coats. Okay, so this is one that I felt like I could easily dupe, or at least, you know, get similar. 2 polishes kind of spring to mind. The first one is Dollar Polish I Want Me Gold, which kind of has that bright green base, and then it's got little gold and green flakies. However, this one is not really close. Number 1, it's not really a jelly base. And number 2, those kind of gold and green flakies don't really stand out. They just kind of blend into the polish, so it doesn't quite give the same kind of feeling as the Artist Nails. Then the other polish that sprang to mind that I thought right off the bat was going to be, you know, what I needed was Polish for Days Clover. Beautiful, bright green jelly, and then it's got those gorgeous gold green shifting flakes. Now, I will admit, when I swatched this, I was quite taken aback by how teal the base was. I've worn this many times. However, in my mind, I somehow had convinced myself that it was a bright green base and not so teal. So this has the jelly base. It has, I think the flakies are just about perfect. However, the base was too dark and teal for what I was going for. So then I thought of using Orly's Neon Paradise as undies because it's bright lime, and then using Come On Clover as a topper. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have much hopes for this because I thought, even though it's a jelly base, it's a teal base, and the teal I thought was going to be much darker than this, and then it was going to overtake the bright neon, and it'll just kind of be like a, you know, teal jelly. However, I'm very impressed with how it came out. Look at that. Look at the difference. It goes from being a completely teal jelly base to being a bright green jelly base. I'm very impressed by this. I don't think the swatch is absolutely perfect, but it is so similar, and this one wasn't a must-have, and I think the swatches are close enough that I'm happy with this dupe. Okay, the next one, I'm trying to go in order on how I did on the nail wheel. The next one is Sweet and Sour Lacquer. The Saw is family. This one, when I look at it, I see a bright, kind of like, I don't know, like just a bright magenta leaning maroonish jelly base. And then all these beautiful purple flakies, and then I see little black flakies. And so when I read the description, inspired by Texas Chainsaw Massacre Leatherface. Cherry red jelly with black flakies and blue iridescent flakies. So they're calling them blue flakies. When I look at it, when it kind of blends into the base, it just kind of comes across as kind of like a purpley flake. And when I thought of this, one polish sprang to mind, and that is Bluebird Lacquer's Fright Attendant. I got this one from Barb. Look, it's got that beautiful kind of like cherry magenta base. And then it's got all those gorgeous flakies. You can see right there how they're purpley flakies. And so when I swatched this on the nail wheel, this is what it looked like. Not quite dark enough for what I was going for. It's not vampy. It's not as vampy as the Sweet and Sour Lacquer. So then I decided to use undies. I used Esse's Expressi, and this one is in Notifications On. And this one was much better. Look at how much it deepened that. And so you can see the pretty purple flakes. Now, I will say that I do wish this had just a little bit more of those purple flakes. They're a little bit sparse compared to the Sweet and Sour Lacquer, however, is pretty similar. It gives me the same vibe, and I'm quite happy with this one. Happy with my dupe, and I don't feel like I need to get this one. Okay, the next one is a must-have for me. This is Rogue Lacquer's Ghost Town, and when I look at this, I see a beautiful gray base, chocked full of kind of like orange, goldy shifting flakes, black flakes, which you guys know I love the black flakes. And then on some of the pictures, you see that the orange flakes shift red as well. So like fiery red, orange shifting flakes. And then when I read the description, it says, living in Arizona, it only seemed fitting to have ghost towns as our theme. So many abandoned mining towns and fun haunted places in the Wild West. I didn't know that. Ghost Town, a light gray toned white crelly with black metallic flakes and orange, copper, gold, green, ultra chrome flakes. Okay, so this is one that, again, I needed to find a good enough dupe for, or else I felt like I was gonna have to buy it. Okay, so for the undies, I pulled Orly's Mirror Mirror, and then I tried 2 different dupes. The first one I used Island Pea's Glory. Look, it has all those gorgeous, glowing, shifting red, orange flakes, and they're kind of like greenish on angles. And then I used, for the black flakes, I used, can you guess? Batsy by Rogue. And this is what this one looked like. I'm very happy with this. I think it's beautiful. I will say that the base is not perfect. It's a little darker. I'm sure if I rooted through my entire collection, I could find a gray base that's a little bit better. When I was looking at this one, I was afraid that the red was a little more dominant than the orange. Like it shifts, you can see in the bottle. When you look at this, you predominantly see the red. And so I wanted to see if I can get it a little bit closer to be more orange leaning. And so I got rid of the Island P. I still used Orly base. I used the Rogue Batsy. And then for the flaky topper, I used KB Shimmer's Soul Amazing, which is just an orangey green yellow, well, a yellowy gold green flaky. And that's what this one looks like. Now this one, I feel like is not close. First of all, it's more golden. You don't really get orange. It's more golden. You also don't get the red shift. So to me, this one is not close. Well, it's close, but it's not close enough. Like it doesn't give the same kind of feeling as this one. So I did end up going with the first one, the Island P, and that's what I'm wearing on my nails now. I do, like I said before, the base isn't perfect. I do think it has a little bit more of a stronger red shift than an orange shift. But at the end of the day, I am happy with this one. I wish maybe it could have been just a little bit better looking at the Rogue. I'm still very intrigued by it. However, at the end of the day, I feel like this one is pretty good and I am happy. I think it's beautiful. So I did decide to skip on the Rogue. So I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, the next one is Polish for Days, Goblins and Ghoulies. Now, when I look at this one, it's a bright, beautiful purple, and then it's got a bunch of just gorgeous, glowing blue shimmer. And then, yeah, Goblins and Ghoulies, I told you that. Okay, so when you read the description, inspired by Madame Leota from Haunted Mansion, a deep mulberry purple base with an intensely glowing blue purple shimmer. Now, I will say, right off the bat, I knew I didn't have anything exactly like this. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to dupe this perfectly. However, purple polishes with blue shimmers have been so popular in the last few years, and I have so many of them. Like right off the bat, I know I have like 6 or 7 like bright glowing purples with gorgeous blue shifting shimmers. in various shades of purple. And a lot of them I haven't even worn yet. So I knew that I wasn't going to have anything perfect, but I just have so many, like I'm oversaturated with purples and blue shimmers that I did not feel like I needed to have this one regardless of how close I came to duping it. So just to pull a couple of my purples with blue shimmers, just to kind of show you, I pulled China Glaze. Oh no, this isn't China Glaze, this is Savina, and this is Purple Print, and it's got a deep purple base, like a deep plum purple or like eggplant purple, and then it's got that beautiful blue shimmer. This one dried really weird on the nail wheel. You can't even see the shimmer. It's very strange on the nail wheel, but look at it in the bottle. You can see it's got that beautiful, beautiful shimmer. Much darker than the Polish for Days. It's not a dupe by any means. It just kind of has the same, like the same components, purple and blue shimmer. So this one isn't a good dupe, but it's just for me to show you that I have a ton of these kind of purpley blues. Okay, the next one is Bee's Knees Lacquer, Tell Me About Your Dreams. Absolutely stunning. Look at that, that beautiful purple base and all that gorgeous, gorgeous glowing blue shimmer. Just absolutely stunning. And then when you see this one, this is what it looks like. Very sheer, very jelly. You need like 3 or 4 coats to kind of build it up. And I feel like even then it doesn't build up to the intensity in the bottle. So I decided to use undies, and I used Orly's Crash the Party. I just picked this up recently when I was with Barb. And then on top, I used the Bee's Knees Lacquer, Tell Me Your Dreams. Tell Me About Your Dreams. And this is what it looks like. So it just makes this a little more opaque, makes it a little bit deeper. I feel pretty good about this. It's not exact by any means. Like I said, I knew I wasn't going to get exact, but it's pretty good. I don't think the bases are exactly the same. I could probably root around my collection and find a purple that's a little closer to this. But like I said, I have so many of these purple and blue shimmers that I just don't feel the need to get an exact perfect dupe for this. And so I won't be getting the Polish for Days. And is it just me, or did Polish for Days raise their prices? They're $13.50, and I don't remember them being $13.50. I've kind of given myself a cap. I'm really trying not to buy anything above $13. And I feel like Polishes are just slowly raising their prices, and I don't remember them being $13.50. I could be wrong though. But anyways, I will not be getting the Polish for Days simply because I just don't need it. Okay, and then the next one. The next one is a must-have for me. This is Monarch Lacquer Eerie Embers. And so when I look at this, it's a gorgeous orange jelly base. Depending on which pictures I look at, some of them look more like a brownie orange base. Some of them look like just a bright pumpkin orange base. And then I see gorgeous goldy orange shifting flakies and then black flakies. Okay, so when you read the description, Monarch Lacquer's Eerie Embers of Salem pays homage to the historical significance of the Salem witch trials. The orange color represents the flickering flames of witchcraft accusations, while the black glitter symbolizes the haunting darkness that shrouded the town during that time. Description: fiery, shifting flakes and black glitter are the effect ingredients in this orange jelly base. So it's black glitters, not quite black flakies, and they are calling it an orange jelly base. It doesn't say anything about it being kind of like a brownie orange. But like I said, some of the pictures when I look at it are kind of like a brownie rustic orange. Okay, so this one right off the bat, I knew I had to have. At the same time, I knew I have a lot of kind of orange jelly, black, kind of flaky type polishes because I love this type of polish. 2 polishes in particular spring to mind. First one being Polish for Days Jack-o'-lantern. This one is a bright orange jelly base. It's very jelly, very sheer. And then it's got those beautiful kind of like orangey shifting flakies, and then it's got little tiny black flakies. And so that is this on its own. I knew this wasn't going to be perfect, but I just wanted to use it as a stepping point. So that's that one. And the next one that obviously comes to mind is Fair Maiden's Mind Freak, which is just a gorgeous, fiery orange jelly base chock full of those glowing flakies. It doesn't have any of the black in it. And so that is that one. Now I know that neither one of these are perfect. And so of course I had to come up with a combo. And so when I looked at this, like I said, some of the pictures looked kind of like a brownie orange. So I decided to use undies. I used OPI's Espresso Your Inner Self. And then I decided to use Mind Freak on top, which doesn't have the black flakies, but I like the base of this. The richness of the base is much closer than the Polish for Days base. And then for the black flakies, I used, once again, Rogue Lacquer's Batsy. And so this is the combo I came up with. This is what it looks like. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It's stunning. I love it. I think it's pretty close. It's not exact, but it's pretty good. However, this is the one polish that I feel like I will forever be thinking about. I will forever say, oh my God, that was a polish that got away. You know, it's just so gorgeous. Now, it could very well, so I did end up buying this one. It could very well happen that when I get it and I look at it in person and I compare the swatches, this could be pretty close. And maybe I don't need this one. However, like I said, this is going to be the one that I will forever think about, and I will forever just regret not getting it. So I got this one. I'm not mad about it. These kind of orange glowing flaky polishes with, you know, black, they're like the epitome of Halloween for me. I love them, and I will definitely wear this even if it's, you know, pretty good to my dupe. So I'm very happy with that one. Okay, the next one is, let me see, I want to go in order of how I swatched them. Okay, so the next one is Cupcake Polish Mothman. Now this one, when I look at it, is, I can't tell if it's in a base or if it's just a jam-packed glitter bomb that they built up opaque. But when I look at it, it looks like a kind of gray, maybe silvery base, chocked full of black, red, and silver flakies. Really pretty, really interesting. Inspired by the Mothman of West Virginia, a nail polish filled with silver, red, and black flakies and a hint of holographic sparkle. Okay, so Okay, so I decided to go with a base. The first base, or you know what I thought of, is Zoya's Dove. So I use this as my undies. And then the polish that sprang to mind is Night Owl Lacquer's one who is both hero and villain. It has all the right components. It has the red flakies, it's got the black flakies, and then it's got the silver flakies. So I use this on top of this. And this is what I got. Now this one is not exact. First of all, the flakies are much too sparse. This is more of a topper, whereas when you look at this polish, it feels more of like it's just a crowley, chocked full. This one kind of just looks like a topper. Now I could do like 5, 6, 7 coats of this and it would be a better dupe, but who's gonna do 5, 6, 7 coats of a topper? You know, it just doesn't make sense. So is this close? Not really. However, I will say that when I did my swatch, my nail swatch of this, I really liked it. And I am going to keep this in mind for October month, and I want to try to wear this dupe, even though it's not similar enough to this to, you know, really be a dupe. However, this wasn't a must-have, and I'm not going to be getting that one. Just for fun, I also thought of another polish, Cuticula's By Its Glow. It's got a gray base. It's got those red kind of shifting flakes, and then it's got little black flakes. However, like when I first pulled this out, it came to mind, and then when I pulled it out, I saw that it's definitely way too blue base. This is more like a steely blue gray base, but just to kind of show you what it looks like. You can see that, and you can tell that it's definitely not close. All right, the next one, this one was a hard favorite. This one was a must-have if I couldn't dupe it. This is Cuticula's Sleepy Hollow. When I look at this, I see a beautiful, rich brown base, chocked full of kind of like fiery orange flakes, and then tons of silver flakes, platinum flakes. They could be hollow, I'm not quite sure. I want to say that they're platinum flakies. Absolutely gorgeous, rich, glowing, and just beautiful. Okay, so when I read the description, inspired by Headless Horseman, Sleepy Hollow is a black jelly base, so it doesn't even say brown. A black jelly base with orange gold shifting glass flakes, black gold red shifting chrome flakes, and silver holographic flakes, so they are holographic. Okay, so I was combing through my swatches and I came across Cuticula's Belle Nuit from May 2022 polish pickup. It's beautiful. It's got that kind of rich brown base, and then it's got those orange fiery flakes. It's got the silver, it's silver reflective glitter, but you know, it's to mimic the silver holographic glitter. Isn't that beautiful? Now I will say this doesn't have the kind of red shift to it. It's just got the orange. However, everything else I feel like is pretty good. This is it on its own. Kind of sheer, not as dark, vampy as the Cuticula from this month's PPU. So I decided to do undies. To me, it feels like a very rich chocolatey brown. So I decided to use China Glaze. Oh my gosh, I can't, it's so tiny. My broomstick runs on coffee. However, when I swatched this, this was so jelly. I needed three coats of this and then 2 coats of this. And so that's what this one looks like, much better. You see how it deepens it up? Much, much better. Beautiful, I feel like it's very close. It just doesn't have the shifting red to it. And because this needed 3 coats of the brown, I decided just to see what would happen if I used black undies, my Restored by Polish 1 coat black. So that's what this one is, 1 coat of the Restored by Polish and then 2 coats of the Cuticula. And it looks like this. To me, they look exactly the same. So it doesn't make sense to use 3 coats of this when I could just use 1 coat of this. So that's what my swatches show. So I have like a hair in my eye or something. That's what my swatches show. And I think it is so absolutely gorgeous. I don't think it's exact to the Cuticula. I'm still looking at the Cuticula. I didn't end up buying it. Part of me is just slightly torn. However, when I look at this one swatch picture, I feel like this looks spot on, exact. I don't even see any red shifting on this one picture, and this swatch looks spot on to this one. So my dupe, although I don't think it's exactly perfect, it's so gorgeous, and I 100% will be wearing my dupe. I'm gonna pull it into my fall rack for this fall, and I wanna try to get to it because this is just so beautiful. And I decided that I don't need to have this one. And you know what's funny, you guys, is this is the second time that I have used a brand's own previous polish pickup polish for this month's polish. Well, not this month exactly, but in the past, I used a Nailed It's polish pickup for a Nailed It's polish pickup. And this time I'm using Cuticula for Cuticula. So it's kind of strange that they're almost duping themselves within polish pickup. All right, anyways, moving on, the last polish, this one is another hard must-have. I have to have this one if I can't dupe it. So this one is Jen & Barry's Hell Hath No Fury. This one is, when you look at it, it's a beautiful, like rich green base, maybe like an olive green base, but it also kind of feels very vibrant to me. And then I see gorgeous green goldy shifting flakes, and then kind of like teal, maybe like spearmint leaning green flakies. Okay, so inspired by Emily's bridge, the story goes, Emily was to meet her fiance one night at the bridge to elope, but he never showed, so she hung herself from the rafters. Since people have reported hauntings when going through the bridge, the vision of a woman screaming and gashes on their cars passing through from her long nails. Wow. Okay, so they describe it as a charcoal base. It's interesting. With bronze and emerald green metallic flakies and orange gold green shifting crystal flakes. Okay, so very interesting how they describe it, more of like a charcoal base. Okay, so I had two polishes that came to mind. The first one was Restored by Polish, Pondering Spring. Beautiful, look at that. It's got that green jelly base, and then it's got those beautiful flakies. Like, look at those flakies. It's got the kind of tealy, spearminty-ish flakes that I was talking about. And then it's got the green gold flakies. However, I knew that the base wasn't quite right, so I decided to pull undies. And I used OPI's Things I've Seen in Auber Green. I thought this went pretty well together. This is what it looks like. However, in the swatch, you kind of lose the bright goldish green hue of the flakies. Or it just doesn't quite feel the same. So then the second option that came to mind was Nailed It 100th Tuesday. Absolutely gorgeous. It has the green jelly base. It's chocked full of those goldy green flakies, and then it's got those beautiful kind of, can you see on the edge? Those kind of like turquoisey, teal, spearmint-ish flakies. It also has the addition of the little purpley flakes, which isn't necessarily in the Gin and Berries, but still beautiful. I wanted to give it a go. And then, of course, I used the OPI as undies. And this is what it looks like, you guys. Look at that. Oh, I am blown away. This, like when you look at that, see how you can see the gold and you can see the kind of orangey green, and then you see that kind of tealy, spearminty, flaky. Looks exactly like this picture, you guys. It is so spot on, and I'm so happy with this. I think it's perfect, and I will 100% be wearing this dupe, and I will not be buying the Gin and Berries. Now this one is $13.52, you guys. What is going on with prices? They're just going up and up and up. But anyways, I am so happy with my dupes. I did end up buying just one polish. I bought the Monarch. I passed on everything else. I'm pretty happy with this. Let me know down below what your guys' must-haves were, what you ended up buying this month. Are you skipping altogether? Leave any comments down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.